Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Azalea. She's in the background
Hello.
knitting with her, making perfect eye contact with me.
Practicing knitting without looking.
She's practicing knitting without looking. When I've done that, that's how mistakes are made. That's what you call having to rip back rows. Or if I'm knitting while I'm talking. We were going to go to, we went to a knit group not too long ago, and I had to rip back because I was too busy. Yapping, as Azalea likes to say. She said I was getting fluent in Japanese. That's real neat. Hello, my friends. Elizabeth, hello. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, Monica. Hello, Katney. Hello, my friend Jennifer. Oh, and our friend June. Thank you guys for joining me today. What did everybody do today? Did anybody do anything fun? We went on an early morning bike ride. Let me show my new helmet. What do you guys think? Looks cuter on Azalea when she tries on. It's way cuter.
I just have that kind of haircut.
It's so cute. So cute. Here's my, that's adorable. You know what it does? It keeps the sun off my face. But every time I wear a helmet, I'll catch a view of myself in any kind of, like a reflection, and my helmet is always like this. It's always messed up. But anyway, I figured out, I got this. I was like, this is kind of an expensive helmet because the helmet's on the inside and this has a cover on the outside, and it's from the brand Bike Pretty. They have one that the helmet cover is a wig, and it's like a glorious, I want to say it's a Gilbert girl. Wasn't that from Victorian? Did they have that kind of billowing curls? So that's what that one helmet. It's like $400.
Wait, they had a helmet with
that
hair.
The cover was a wig. It was epic. So that when you're biking, you look like you're not wearing a wig, you look like you're wearing a new helmet.
That is so bombastic.
Yeah, it was pretty outrageous. So outrageous.
Goofy.
Oh, Kalite says perfect for salamander scouting. You know, when I'm riding my bike though, if I start looking around on the ground too much, I fall down. So I cannot do it's not. I walked today. Oh, Karen says, how's my knee? My knee is still swollen, but it did not prevent me from still riding because I'm of the generation of when you get hurt, you keep doing it because you're trying to keep it. What they say? Keep it loose. But Greg his method is to keep it as non-moving as possible. And then I looked up information. I was like, keep it, if you don't move around, then it just gets stiff, and then it takes long. It feels like it takes longer to heal. Oh, there's a hashtag sitting there. That hashtag is for, I think we showed it a few days ago. What is it? Where's that? Where's the so here, this is from Azalea.
What?
The time that this is before you were born.
Yes.
She's like, every time thing that I talk about is either before Max was born. That's the time. It's either Azalea's birth or Max's birth. That's like the big thing in my life. It's like my fixed point, I guess. Oh, thank you, June. It is a pretty cute helmet. Oh, Bonnie saw her granddaughter, 1 month old. That's cute. My mom keeps asking if Azalea is going to be pregnant, and it gets on my nerves so hard because Azalea's only 20. And my mom's like, is she getting married yet? I'm like, no, Ma. She's like 12. You can't get married when you're this young. You can't do that. Kalite, after you're off of the bike. I know, but I almost got in a wreck today because I thought I saw groundhog. This path that we go on, it's called Hominy Creek. It's pretty nice because there's not that many people that are on it. And I saw groundhogs. I don't know how many times they're. And then when you're on the bike, you're so quiet. They don't detect you until you're right there. Until you could practically get off. I could not. There's no way I could get off my bike fast because I have a tall. It's pretty tall. So There's no jumping off with any kind of. You won't see me pulling any Dukes of Hazzard style bike moves. That I mean, they didn't have bikes, but you know how they jumped into their car. I seem to recall that. Oh no, Pat says I lost my dog Wednesday, heartbroken, but he sure loved Green Girl Runs. That's sweet. It's sad, but it's that's sad. There's no good part of that. There's no good part at all. Elizabeth says, I went for a long walk. It got hot really fast, so we went home. I'm in Arizona. You know what? It got hot fast today, too. It got very, very warm very quickly, and it's kind of unseasonably warm for Asheville, I think. Terry says, hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hey, Terry. Oh, so you could put in the hashtag. I don't think there's any controlling of how many times. I don't think it matters if you put in a ton of times.
I think it just registers it the one time you do it.
We don't know that for certain.
We don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm like 90% sure.
So anyway, this is when we did beat ones. There's all kinds of. This one has I can see what is that in there? Pearls and some kind of.
You're remembering back to.
I have to think back.
20 years ago.
Yeah, well, you know, I couldn't find these containers. That's why I stopped putting them. We put them in little Ziplocs after, because these became, I don't know what happened to the factory. It used to be a U.S. brand out of Ohio. I thought I might have the location, but it has different kinds of, I think, check glass is in there. I see some little puffy check glass. It looks like pearls. Some that kind of shiny aurora borealis coated little quartz nugs, but a lot of what looks like check glass and pearls. So that's the winner today. We're going to announce it after this when we're rolling it down towards the end. And to make it fair, we're going to ask that you kind of be here to claim it.
We're probably going to make a graphic for next live to show.
Good idea, because the whole point of it is to get our engagement up. And so what that means is when we're streaming right now to Facebook and YouTube. And so if you get a lot of action, like the hashtag makes it look like it's there's a lot of activity, there's conversation, there's excitement, then you go up in your views. So they show they show our videos to more people. So it has a bonus. The only thing is if you don't have an order, we will ask for some shipping. It's not expensive, but boy, we were looking it up. We're like, man, that's going to be high. So it gets pricey. We cover shipping too. All right. Oh, I see our friend Clem. Hello, Clem. Hello, Debbie. Got a lot of folks. Thank you all for showing up today. I'm going to show you some fun things that will be exciting. I think it's exciting for me. So a couple lives ago, I mentioned that we were in talks with the folks that purchased TierraCast. So TierraCast is back on board, which is happy. Everybody's happy about that. One of the things that they can do is they can do fine small things, which is that stuff is really hard for us to do because you have to hang on to it to grind it and clip it. It's very difficult to hang on to something that's small. It actually can be more work. It doesn't sound like it is, but it can be kind of a strain. So what we were hoping to do was to come up with two designs that we could either work as they could work together, but I would love to have an earring type thing that we could put into a kit and like 4 finishes, because they also do plating, which I don't want to deal with either, because that's kind of, every type of metal requires different tools. Not all different tools, but each type takes more stuff. Like you can't mix and match the silver and the gold. You can use the same like the vacuum chamber to suction the air out of the mold, but you can't use the same crucible that melts. That's the melting thing it's made out of what is that made out of? Silica. It's like a silica, like a plaster embedded with silica that's like extremely It holds up to the temperature. It looks like plaster, but it is not. It's embedded with another material to make it durable during a burnout. So what we're going to do is make something that's kind of petite. That is something that you would want for an earring or something that you would want for a class. I'm thinking of sending off 2 designs. So today I thought we could flip the camera around, do a little bit of brainstorming. If there's any kind of earring component, I'm thinking I want something that has potential for either a drop that you could hang things in or like a little cage type situation. So I'm going to flip this. Let's see if I can get that going.
You started going back to old times. You started going for the tripod.
I know. I went for the tripod. Oh, I see more comments. Okay, so we have like 3 cameras going. And half the time I don't know where to look. So I am reading some of them. Hello, my friends. Hello, Robin. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Michelle. Michelle says, my sapphires arrived yesterday and they're beautiful. That makes me happy because we handpick everything. And I never sell anything that I don't like. Because then what if you're stuck with it? It's like if you get something horrendously ugly and then you're like, well, it was cheap. No, because I got to use it too. Sandy says, I have some of them from long ago, seen you at Bead Show when you were pregnant with Azalea. Wow, Sandy, you're taking it back a minute. That's like 20 years ago.
That's the
benchmark.
I know. Benchy. It's like
hello,
instead
Lauren?
of BC or BCE, it's
before is it BA.
BA. Before
or
Azalea.
BM for before Max. In my life. Those don't sound that great, but
that's fine.
I see some of them. All right, I'm going to have to get rolling. Bonnie says, I hope they keep the metal quality. You know what, Bonnie? I saw some samples, and I don't want to say, I don't want to be like, oh, they're better than what we're making at TierCast. They were nice. I was like, beautiful work.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember we saw it and it was good. All right, how do I flip this again? I know how to flip it. I know how to do this. What camera is up there? My
you want to do iPhone 96, we'll be flipping it. Did you get it?
Let's do it. Yeah. Is that in the right configuration?
Yeah.
All right. I kind of junked it up a little bit over here. I was trying not to keep it tidy.
It's okay. Junked it up.
Trying to make it pretty over here. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Debbie says, love your necklace. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this is some watercolor paper. I'm going to do a quick, just some little ideas. So I made these recently to go with, I've been holding this one. I still have to do the final polish and everything. I haven't gotten around to it. But the idea for this is to make these, let's see, they're open. I don't know if you can see that, but some of these are open links, right? The idea is to have gems in between. Here I have some of these handy. Oh, our friend Carrie. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Cherie. So let me see, this is better. Yeah. All right, so you can kind of picture, imagine that wire wrapped. And then these will have, you know how I like to call it, like add a little bit of sugar to it. So do a little drop and then possibly one on this side. So it'd be a chain of handmade links all the way down. So that's the idea for this. I was thinking about making something that had that same kind of fever feeling. Fever. But yeah, I don't know why I said that. Isn't it kind of crazy that you have no idea what your next thought's going to be? It just you have no idea. I was trying to say feeling, but my mouth said fever.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's some of the ideas on that. And then I made this last week. We made this for an earring kit. I think they're all gone, right? Pretty sure they're all gone. So this is the other thing, is to make something like this. And I like it. I was trying to go some asymmetrical, but I'm thinking maybe to complete the thing, complete it and make a circle. What's your thoughts, Azalea? Do you like the idea of a completed, like almost like a wreath as an earring, or do you like it where it's open and can accommodate a lot of like a long stem?
I like it open.
You like an open? What's the thoughts out there? Do you feel like
because then if it's rounded, if it's a wreath, then your size is limited. The length of your drop is limited.
But that's only if you. It's only limited if you. I'm gonna go a little closer.
I would keep it open. I would keep the arch.
You like the arch? That's just.
Yeah, because then it'll look good if you put something long.
Mm-hmm.
You could go long and it would look good, but you can't really go long if it's a wreath because then it'll overlap and it kind of looks messy.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion.
All right, let's see. We'll grab some of this. What color is that? Oh, Shadow Violet. It's Daniel Smith watercolors. They granulate really nicely, which means they will separate prettily on the paper in the divots of the paper. This is not expensive watercolor paper, by the way. So I'm going to do this a little bit bigger just so we could get. This is, if I go with Azalea's idea, I'm going to make that loop because I feel like that loop's pretty big. Oh, I better switch back so I can see what's happening. Oh, Kalita has a good idea. Maybe if the ends of the wreath curl outward a bit, that's good. Elizabeth says, I like it open. You can hang more long stems or dangles from the top. Oh, yes. And you know what? I'm seeing a lot of, Jennifer says, I'm going to keep mine open. Open, yes. So I guess I got my answer with that. Because at first I was thinking of doing some kind of piece that's like, maybe, sometimes I sketch this way. I don't know if anybody else does, but light watercolor, and then I can go in on top of it. Might be too much light on it. Center that. Because then once this is dry, you can go in and add details. So part of me wanted to do something like this, and it's not impossible. We're just testing things out to see. Maybe something that has like a texture, floral. Maybe one of them can have that in like openings here, all around in there. Let's see. Pat says open a bit wider. Katney says, can you do both options? You know what? I want to send a couple of designs. That's something I want to test out and see. Although I will say they have a very, very high minimum order. So I have to kind of like whatever it is I choose. You can't just order 5 or 6. You've got to order, I believe the minimum was, I say it was like 600 and something. I'm not positive on that. It's high though. So it has to be something that everybody likes. So I'm going to that's my texture on this one. I feel like the one that we were just talking about is something with maybe a bird. Put a bird on it. Maybe some flowers. But I agree. Maybe something outward. It goes like this. Maybe the thing opens up like this. That way you could dangle a bunch of things on this area. Yeah, Karen says, I usually do it the other way, but wash ink is better. I do it both ways. I feel like when I go pencil first, I'm doing that's like more detail. I'm doing more detail. And this way I'm going for shape instead of like there's a faint edge around it and I'm just finding the shape that I'm looking for. I don't know what's going to be in there yet, but I'm just kind of feeling it out. This could be pretty like this, or it could be where it's asymmetrical. You guys like it more symmetrical or asymmetrical? What do you think, Yaya?
Symmetrical.
You like it symmetrical?
That's just
well, you can. Let me see if there's any beads hanging around here that I can show it with. What's some of these? These are pretty. So maybe if there's 2 holes, it could be like this. Maybe like almost like you could do several drops down. I'm seeing a lot of comments that say symmetrical. Oh, Jermaine says this is a good one that I should for sure consider. Says, I feel like there are a number of closed ring options on the market and the open loop is more unique. So I would say open. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Jennifer says symmetrical. It will be easier to have good balance. And June says symmetrical, I think, would be more popular if selling. Yeah. Well, the one that I have here is it's a little on the asymmetrical side. So I'm going to show this. I made this chain not too long. Well, I don't remember how long ago. That doesn't matter. But it could be where you have like several links of chain. It's just my idea for that. So it's like, it's hooking up once to this spot, if that makes any sense. I know I totally designed this way, so it's kind of goofy. But, sometimes it makes it easier if you have a bigger, have it about the size. I think it'd be a little bit smaller. It'd be a little bit easier to work with. So anyway, I'm thinking I'm just going to start it now. Start the 21-minute mark. So you guys will do this live action. Start it. You know what? I am continually misplacing lighters. It's like I like to burn incense when I'm working. It's like my signal to my brain that time to work or time to work on something or focus. So I will make it symmetrical. I see a lot of comments for that. So that is the direction I will go. Now, Karen says you can make it look asymmetrical with added components. And Sheree is right. People have a harder time with asymmetrical. That is true. That's 100% true. All right, so this is just one. I'm not going to use that. But you know what? I keep little pieces like this. This is like a little jump ring. I keep it so that. And usually when I'm starting anything, I use the base of another piece. Like this is a little dolphin that Greg made a long, long time ago. So what I'm going to do is heat up this tool pretty hot. It's down here. And get it nice and hot. I don't know if that's heating up my camera. Move it over. I don't want that to get. Sorry, you know what? This is the area over this flame is very, very warm. And the last thing I need is for my phone to get I don't know, it's hot. So what I'm going to do is just smooth out this circle, this pendant of this dolphin. I'm just going to make it to a nice flat surface. Yes, I see a lot of comments about making it symmetrical. So the very first component will be symmetrical. And this, I think, could be an earring or it could be a pendant. There's a lot of potential here for something really pretty. And this is not a spill. I do this on purpose so that I can have a little bit of wax to grab. Just heat up the tool, grab a little wax. Felt like there was a hole. I'm going to plug that hole there. So that's kind of being more of a handle. I don't really need it right now. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to try to cut it off. Oh, a little too long to plug that little hole. All right. Oh, I see some more comments. Oh, no, I don't. All right. So This tool is useful for this kind of flattening right along the top. And I'm going to cut out. So maybe I'll just cut that out instead of worrying about it. Just set it there. And I think I want my hole here. So maybe what I'll do, I'm going to try and get this shape. So what I'll probably have to do is add to the outer parameter. Azalea, that sweater, you're making a lot of progress.
I'm separating for the sleeves right now.
Ooh, wow. Good job.
I knit fast.
You are getting to be a very fast knitter.
Yippee!
So this is kind of like, I'm just cutting it. I heated up the tool pretty hot. And there, cut that out. So that's the basic shape. That's what's happening with that. And so then I don't really have any like set idea right now. I do know what people like, and I do know what's favorite of a lot of customers. A lot of people like floral designs. A lot of people like birds. Any kind of botanical seems to do pretty well. This is probably not a time for me to make something random and weird because I need to sell a lot of them. That's the only scary part of it, is ordering in this big bulk. Because then if you make something that is not popular, you're stuck with it. So you want to make something that is a winner. We went to this farm, and by we, I mean me. I thought about getting the kids and forcing them to come with me, but everybody was kind of locked into their own thing. And so I went to this farm called, what's that farm called?
Hominy Hinder something.
Yeah, I wasn't paying much attention to the name of it. It's in Fairview, which is not far from where we live. And they had a beautiful apple orchard that when the last time I'd been there, it was just a field. It's like, how long do apple trees take to grow anyway? Kind of crazy. I saw the picture. They used that picture from my blog. That's how long ago it was. And the kids were pretty small in the picture.
I remember the blog times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when people blogged, remember those days?
I had one.
Yes, it's pretty cute. Craft ideas with Azalea. What did you call it?
I don't even remember. I remember I posted pictures of my dolls that I made and lemon curd.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's pretty cute.
Max, when he can't eat all the lemon curd on his own,
Mm-hmm.
the whole jar to himself.
Yeah, you don't blame him.
No, I was right there with him.
Kalika's like, what? I like random and weird. What's your idea? I don't know yet. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do until I do it. Usually that's not the case. Usually I draw it and I draw it like 500 times before I make anything. So I'm going to just see how close I am to that shape. Seems like I need to be a little wider. A little bit. But I think it'll be kind of a wreath type situation with birds and animals. I'm going to try and make it symmetrical, which is not hard. It'll be symmetrical in that these points will be symmetrical, but maybe the inner part of the design, maybe I'll do, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's a neat shape. Like you could do, where'd that thing go? Let me see. I was just thinking about that. Because so you could do like a piece of chain or something here like this, and then hang a bunch of like seed beads. It's a possibility. You just have to pretend this is like the fringe, and then this is like the connection point right here. Could be chain right here. And then at this point, maybe it has another hole right here, so you could dangle something there. That could be interesting. You could have like a round stone there. Maybe it even has a lower dip. Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is, what do you think, Azalea? Flowers? What kind of flower? Maybe I'll do something, flowers on this side. like a patch of flowers, and maybe almost like, you know, it might be cool is like a wren or something right here. That's a terrible wren. Just to remember, I'm kind of feeling the shapes. I'm not trying to make anything look like anything at this point. I'm just doing almost silhouette. That's a way to kind of figure out your shapes before I have to mess around with this. Jennifer says, love the loop idea to add another dangle from the middle. Yeah, that's a good one. Bonnie says, paisley and scrolls. Yeah. Arlene says, kind of looks like a jellyfish with chain. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it might be cool to make one that's a jellyfish type configuration. It'd be pretty. All right. Jermaine says, I was thinking of a bird as a part of it. Yeah, I love birds. Let's see if I can get a nice one. Usually I like to have a bird in mind. And you know what's kind of interesting is I've been seeing cardinals all over the place. And weirdly, like I was in the park, in 2 different parks riding my bike, and I had stopped to get a drink and looked down and saw cardinal feathers 2 different times in 2 different trails. And I kept seeing them, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that's trying to tell me. You know, if you've ever listened to or read these books on, there's one I was listening to called Animal Spirit Totems. Is that what it was called? I remember we were listening to them in Tucson, on our way to Tucson.
I remember I was listening to The Crow.
Yeah, so if you see something all the time, one of the ideas, one of the beliefs is that it's almost like your brain is, you know, it's like you're looking for patterns, you know, and that's like the universe is kind of showing you something. But when I say universe, could it be, you know, your inner landscape, the inner universe, if that makes any sense. Oop, keep dropping it. I need a different tool here. Need something to poke some holes. I've got a big stack of tools here, so sometimes I've got to dig a minute, especially if it's a short one. So anyway, maybe I'll put a cardinal type. Maybe, you know, what else is in that kind of family? So anyway, the idea of that is that if you see something all the time, you think of the animal and its attributes. In this case, we were talking about when we were traveling in Tucson, Azalea kept seeing crows, and we looked up some of the attributes of the crow, because the whole point is that you look at what the animal's attributes are and kind of use that as the guide. So a crow is very smart and is a creative problem solver. And they have, what are other attributes of crows? There was a bunch of attributes in that.
It's been a long time since I've heard it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, if you know anything about animals, that's pretty easy to figure it out. You know, it's an interesting concept of taking attributes from animals and applying it to the idea of symbolism and omens, which sounds kind of woo-woo, but in a lot of ways, I think that is a good way to think of it as like a way to slow your brain down and be aware of your surroundings and what the universe could be telling you. Angela says, white feathers on my walks. Nice. Clem says, crows give gifts and hold grudges. Like me. I'm kidding. I'm trying not to hold grudges. Although I actually do hold a grudge sometimes. I'm trying to train myself not to be that way, but sometimes it's when, you know, you're a certain way almost your whole life, trying to relearn patterns. I'm going to make something for this top. I think a small hole at the bottom would be good, and then one at the top. The trick to this, and I'll probably have to go back over it, is to make sure everything is centered. because one of the things, if you don't have it centered, you get kind of a teeter-tot shape, and it will never, unless you, I mean, I guess it can line up. Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't know if this shows it. Make that hole a little bit bigger. But if you have a piece, especially in metal, in wax, it's so lightweight, it's barely noticeable. It has a kind of, there's a balance. I should show this like this. But if one side is heavier than the other, it'll be lopsided. So one of the things I have to do is, while I'm working, frequently take the piece, look at it, and make sure that it's relatively balanced. I'm looking at it from this angle. You probably can't see it. Well, you can't see it from that angle. But this side's a tad bit heavier. So what I would do is work this side knowing that I have to either reduce the weight or add some onto this side. It's a, it's a push-pull. Oh, Cecilia says, I was married in Sedona, Arizona by an Indian shaman, and he told us to watch out for different signs of animals. And I had a snake walk right in front of me as we were getting married. Oh, that's interesting. I always think of snakes as being kind of a fortuitous thing to see. Because, they shed their skins, and they have that, the old symbols of them as rebirth and renewal. The Ouroboros eating that's the snake eating its tail. It's a long symbolism. All right, I'm going to add a little bit to this side. I like how this has more of a shape that goes outward like an arch. This one right now, not quite getting it. I need to add more to this, but what I'll do is I'll make sure that this is a lot more thinned out on the back, because you don't want an earring that's going to make your ears feel itchy. That's the last thing you want. Sheree says, I don't hold grudges, but I have a harder time trusting if you burn me. Well, that's just good common horse sense, isn't it? I would think.
Yeah, I think that's natural and
It's
good.
It's good. It's a way to protect yourself, for sure. I like the idea of adding this as being a really beautiful textural thing that can be light. Maybe have a feeling of, when I was imagining this, I thought of the different ways that this could be used. And I thought of my friend Sarah, who makes the most fantastic beaded earrings. She recently moved out to, I think, Phoenix.
You have a lot of friends named Sarah.
I do.
There's a lot of Sarahs in your life.
Yeah. Well, there's my friend Sarah that I met at knitting retreat. I'm supposed to help her trim her bunny's fur tomorrow. That's on my list of things to do. The bunnies are Angora, and boy, they fight. They do not want that story. They buck and kick, and it gave me an appreciation for that yarn. I was like, listen, you got to do a lot to get that yarn. They're supposed to, if you hold them just right, then they sit docile, but I held them. I'm no amateur when it comes to gripping and clutching an animal. So, and I've had rabbits. These bunnies fought pretty good. It was pretty cute though. And then when they were shaved, boy, their bodies were so soft, so nice, and they were so happy. At the time, they didn't love it, but after the fact, when they were nice and cool, then they liked it. Oh, Wendy's asking how that knitting project is going.
Me? I'm almost done finishing up with my putting my sleeves on scrap yarn so I can work on the body. I just finished the increases. The raglan increases.
She's discovered. You should share the sweater that you're making for me. That Bella's rib. It's a very, very.
It's intermediate, advanced.
Well,
and I started it when within 2 weeks of picking up knitting.
That's the thing. Is you're like me. You're like, oh, I can do it. Intermediate.
Well, it's because I looked at it and I was like, well, it's just knitting and purling, but what they
the
don't do is in the pattern, they don't really help you keep track of some of the things.
You just have stitch
They
markers.
just say, oh, go for the next 10 rounds and then increase. Right. And then.
So it's a little bit different. It's in a pattern that's with the assumption that you've done this before and that you've got
a bit difficult.
It's
difficult to keep track of is the thing because I've made notes on it, but then when I look back at the notes and then I look back at the pattern, I'm like, wait, where was I? And then I'm like, oh shoot, now I got to go count back 30 rows and see if I'm on track because I don't want this to get like puckered in the middle on the shoulders, you know. And that's the danger of it if you don't increase in the right spot. Because I've never done a yoke sweater before, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm used to raglan for sure.
So one thing that I noticed, Cherie's comment, the heaviness is on the upper right side. It's thicker there. So what I like to do when I'm working is I'll feel it. You can feel right in there where it's thicker. And so a lot of times I'll either get it warm and scrape it like this. And what I'm doing now is I'm just getting the basic shape. And adding all this stuff is the next part. You always make your base first, and then you can add, let's see, I have this piece here, and one of the things that you can do is melt the shape you want right on there. It's almost like drawing in 3D. So I want to get my shape perfect, and then I can draw it. I was getting ready to put in the shape of a bird. You can see I've already taken a little bit of form in there. But I want to do it where I have it planned out so that if I make this into a branch, say it's like as if this bird landed. You know what we could do is at Morning Glory. We were pedaling past this river park, and there's this section next to the highway where you get on the path that has morning glories intertwined with jasmine, which are growing on top of porcelain berries. It was almost too much. I was like, Azalea, what are we seeing here? We both are kind of like screeching to a halt to look at them, and the colors are amazing, like glowing. So that's the inspiration here. Is I'm going to take that feeling of what I saw the other day, and so they're big blooms, and they were like the most robust color of violet, like fluorescent practically. I get that morning glory. So maybe the morning glories are right here, and then it can be like little star shapes of the jasmine. So I would use a smaller type, almost like stringer right in there. And then maybe down here could be the porcelain berry. The porcelain berries were so beautiful. The colors were unreal. So I'm going to just remember that. And here's what, so this feels like it's dry. So I'm going to sketch that out. And then how about we come back to this in a little bit, because I would like to show what we made this week after I draw this out real quick. All right, so let's see, the porcelain, let's see, how, love this pencil.
Sounds like you're getting hoarse, tracing your team on.
Boom, okay. Clem says, I love morning glories. Same. Oh, yeah. Rabbit teeth, they need their teeth. They need to have stuff available for them to grind their teeth to. Grind them down. That bird doesn't look very good. But you know what? You know what the best part of this is? This pencil. I can easily erase it. So instead of whatever that is, I'll do the morning glory shape. It was kind of like a star and like a little bit like this sort of shape like this. And then kind of a, like that. And then maybe there's another one. I'd have to look at them because they had a really neat like twist to the ones that hadn't, or that had closed up by the time we got there. So that shape, maybe some of the jasmine had a very fine petal, like they were like little white stars. So that might be pretty right along here. So that be inspired by that Hominy Creek River Park, right along the highway, right off the exit on 40. When we were driving the other day, right near the Biltmore, the exit to the Biltmore has sunflowers growing. It's really beautiful, super beautiful. We rode bikes with Joanne. She rode the cream colored bike, Azalea.
My cream cruiser.
The cream cruiser. You know what? The helmet looked so much cuter on Azalea. So cute. And then through this side, it was, we'll say, it was intertwined with porcelain berries. And they had the most glorious color combinations of white and like this perfect teal. So maybe those are going down through there. Sheree says, have you grown pink jasmine? The smell is intoxicating. You know, I did not have pink. I've only ever had the night blooming. So this is going to have that kind of shape like this. The little porcelain berries. They're very charming to look at. They have almost like, they look like almost, when they say the porcelain part, I think I get that because they do have that look. This bird though, because the shadows there is kind of messing me up a little bit.
This is my sweater.
Oh, well let me turn the camera so you can see that. You want to get in here? Okay, we're going to take a quick look at Azalea's sweater that she's been working on.
Hello.
Now
I wanted it to be big. That was the goal. I'm doing this part now around the body because I just put the sleeves on scrap yarn. So that's all tied up and I wanted it to be open. I'm doing raglan from up here down. And I wanted it to be a big sweater for fall. And it's very soft.
Well, you know what? We got that in an estate sale.
It's going to be even better when I block it.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Thank you.
You just started that because that estate sale was on Friday.
Yeah, I've been working on it for...
She's a fast knitter.
I think it might have been a little bit longer ago. Might have been a week ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now, the color of that is not, like I looked at it on our screen and it looked kind of orangey. The color in real life is a much more raspberry type thing. You're getting a lot of compliments. People are saying, awesome job, Azalea. June says, Azalea looks cute and everything. She does. Karen says, the sweater is looking good. Kathy says, beautiful, Azalea. You got a lot of compliments on it. All right. So I think this is a pretty good path. And I think that this is a good size. It's not going to be too, it's not going to be massive. And I'm going to take a lot of the weight out of this. So it's not going to be too much. Oh, Karen says it's raspberry on my TV. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Like when I'm looking at this on my screen, this looks like a burnt orangey color. On this, it's in real life, it's a true red. So that's the thing with colors on screens. You never know what you're going to get. And it could be altered, cooler or lighter. So this is the start. It'll take many, many hours to get something that looks like this. But this is what my hope is for the piece to be made by our new friends. So we'll see what kind of thing happens. I think this is the first one. I have to think more. Maybe a clasp. I'm not sure yet, but I love the idea of making a floral clasp. Something that could be for a little bit lighter weight. Maybe something along the same vein that's a clasp. Maybe this is closed and there's like a piece that comes in, like a toggle or something very, I don't know. Lately, I'm just feeling ornate, feeling like I'm interested in those shapes. You know how it is. You get in the mood for something. I'm going to put some of this stuff away. And we will continue. I want to keep working on it, but the technique is basically drawing just like a 3D, like ink work is what it reminds me of. Oh, Sheree says a dimensional bird cage. Yes. Wendy says, coming in late. I have to admit, I thought the drawing you were working on was a clown with scary teeth. That's funny. I can see that. It's like maybe like a 70s clown with a big wig. Oh, could you open up holes on it to look like it's on lattice? Yeah, and you know what else? That could even reduce size. Oh, yes, I've been to the Biltmore. My friend Joanne has a pass, and we go and ride bikes, and we walk in the garden, because the garden and um, the greenhouse, they have a fantastic greenhouse. But you know what's weird is we went to, I think it was called Reams Creek. I'm not 100%. Or no, it was called Ross Family Farm. And they had, I mean, it was, their greenhouses were pretty amazing. I was pretty impressed with all the exotic type plants that were in there. Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, the Biltmore greenhouse is 100% super amazing. Hey, Zoya,
Yes.
it is time for this part. Actually, I don't know why I even called you because I can do this myself.
I was showing Walkie my sweat. I'm here now.
All right,
I'm
you want
very
to pass
pleased
me
with
some
it.
things? Do you want to get on this side to write down, or are you happy to do it after the fact?
Doing it after the fact is a little bit easier for me because then I can look at it and count it, and I don't have to be rushed. Start with this. You can use my magic pen, my favorite pen, for. If you want
Wendy
to
says, good thing you have the pass. I was horrified at the cost. I don't have the pass. My friend Joanne does. And after 4:30, you can bring in guests. I don't go to the house very often. To me, the house is, I've been to the house. It's pretty cool. But my favorite part is the grounds. Okay, so this is a Shibuichi coral link. I have used this with great success as a link. I've hung things from this because I think it has little barnacles. It's like a little piece of coral I found, and I carved it to look just like the driftwood. The actual piece that this is supposed to look like, there's a hole here and there's a hole here, was about this long, and it had perfect little barnacles on it. And I thought, man, that would make the best component if it were smaller. So I basically carved it. This is exactly what it looked like. It's like perfect. So you could actually, one of the things that I did with it is I used little pieces of chain and things, and I dangled things from it. Oh yeah, Wendy, it's a fortune to get in there. $75 a person is easily what that would cost. So let's make this one, I will say 22. This is lot 587, and it's Shibuichi, which is a silver and copper alloy. The color is natural, and when it's buffed down, that's the color of the metal right there. It has a beautiful kind of a peachy rose color. So it's a really beautiful. Let me see. I was going to say, do I have something to polish that around here? Let me see this napkin. I don't. This is done by heating the surface up till it's cherry red, and then you go over it with a buffing wheel, and you get that really beautiful coloration. But the high points are like really beautiful to get that rose color to kind of pop. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the screen. It's a nice burgundy. Anyway, that's 587. All right, let's see what else I have here. We have some new and some things that were from previous lot sales. So here's how this works. I noticed there's already some here. So you just put the number in the comment section, and we have the person that is first, because we don't have a ton of deep stock of anything. So we usually go by the first person will get it. And we're streaming through 3 or 4 places now, to Facebook, to, let's see, what's this? Oh. That's pretty high. Silver's gone up, people. I hate that story. I 100% hate that story. I remember when silver was like, oh, that slipped out of there. These little burlap tags make it kind of difficult. I'll put that back on there. Maybe I'll just do it like this, so it's not so. I'll have to try and put that thick piece of burlap through a pretty small hole. All right, so this is $3.19. It's sterling. It's a little heavy. That's thus the cost. But I will do a little bit of a markdown on that. Let's see. Let's go 45 on it. So, $3.19. I have 3. It's sterling. It is a really beautiful. The hole for this is at the top, and on the other side is another skull. Oh, I was out of there. A true skeleton key. Yes, we sometimes have this. Well, we mostly have this in pewter. That's the first version. So this piece in sterling, 45. We use this with weight. That's how we mark this. What was the oval pendant framed by an octopus? Oh, Irene, this is part of something I'm working on now that is a finished jewelry piece that I'm working on. So I'm practicing setting. I have a ton of cabs, but I'm dipping these cabs, and then I am making custom. These are pretty much like, I don't know. The stones aren't calibrated, so I have to make each bezel unique for the stone. So it is not an inexpensive, it's a time-consuming type situation right there. It's the time. All right. Let's see, there's some of the things in here. There's so much over here on this tray. I'm going to decide which one to pick. And go from one side to the next. Okay. Oh, I have some of these bronze. We were just talking about Ouroboros. And let's see. This was, I have 2. They're 18. Let's go 16 on this. Let's say 16, 148. I use these as the ring part of a pendant. I usually go up from the top, say like this. I'll do this as an example. Just like this, right? So you can either do chain, and I love doing beaded chain with this, and then you dangle things. So I have a couple of them. Usually these are in pewter. So bronze is a really beautiful metal for that to be in. I only have one of these. This is a feather that I made for Candy a long time ago. Man, that's probably years ago. And we made a bunch. She picked out a bunch and she left a bunch. And by bunch, I mean 2. So I think I made, I don't know, this is leftover from that batch because that's, that was it. That would be pretty like that too. So this is one of ones I made for Candy all those years ago. So this has a rose. It has some kind of, it looks almost like, what it reminds me of is a little bit like a forget-me-not, but it's obviously a little bit small. Or big. It does look like something Candy would like, doesn't it? For sure. And that's a bronze piece. Okay, so here's one that we've had. Azalea's asked me to make this for her. She puts this on her necklaces. Okay, so this is a sterling silver skeleton that I made. I visited the catacombs in France a long, long time ago. And you know what? It kind of creeped me out, to be honest. You go down these stairs that feel like you're going into the center of the universe. And it's intense. It's really intense. And if you have if you don't like small, dark places, it's not a place for you. It wasn't a place for me. I mean, it's wonderful. The imaginative things that they made with all the skulls and bones. Apparently, these monks had to do something with all the bones of the people from the plague victims. And they had stacked them up like cordwood. And what they had done, the monks had made beautiful sculptures with all the bones. And it's pretty striking. It's amazing. But it's also kind of scary. So anyway, this reminded me of it. Or, I was inspired by that whole experience. So here's a little heart that he's carrying, and the contact points are here and here. Okay, so I have 3. What does it say? 323. It's 45. I will discount that now in the mood for slashing. It's a heavy piece. It's pretty heavy. Let's see. We'll do 42 on that. 3/4. This is so the lot number is 323 if you're interested. It's a really beautiful. This one makes a good link, just like this. Or I've made it like this on several things. And then a drop at the bottom would be pretty. Oh, I didn't even think of that, June. June says, my son wouldn't go down into the catacombs in Italy, afraid of inhaling ancient diseases. So we skipped it. Had I even considered that as an option, I would have been like, wait a minute. That does not sound good.
Pass.
Yeah. It freaked me out. Oh, so this has been, I usually have these at 24 on my site. I have 2 of these mermaids. I know there are several people, and I've marked them down, but at this particular live sale, I did not sell them. So if you're interested, this is usually, we had it marked at 20, but now it's 18. It's 802. This is one of my more popular ones. I've made this for a long time. And this is a particular favorite. If you've ever watched the show H2O, it's like, when was that? 2000s, early 2000s?
2000.
Look how pretty that would be.
7, I think.
Anyway, I love them. I love this. And I sold, when that show was on, so many young girls, because that's when I used to do a lot of beach shows. This was one of my best sellers, because they would be like, hey, do you have any mermaids? I'd be like, girl, I got you covered. You're going to love this.
So many mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot other than mermaids.
Well, I have other
and
things.
Fairies.
Okay, so this, speaking of catacombs, this was around the same time that I designed this. So we went to a graveyard. I guess it was a graveyard. Cemetery is when it's like freestanding or connected to a church. Which one is which?
Graveyard is connected to a church. Cemetery is public.
Okay, so anyway, we had visited not too long ago. Where was that when we saw those beautiful headstones that had, they're kind of a shape like this, but kind of more like, I don't know how to describe it, more of an arch.
Were we in Charleston?
Oh, Charleston. So this is 320. How many of these do we have? We have 4 sets of this. So this is 42 for the set. It comes with a little key, and the connection point is right on the back, right there. This comes in pewter. We have it on, I don't know if it's on the website, but it is in sterling right here. And this one, actually, you know what? I have a piece that I would love to put that with that I finished last week. Where is it? Untangle yourself. I'm going to check out this palette. Oh, Cherie found a rib cage in forest in Santa Cruz. That's like when me and Azalea found that finger bone in Tennessee. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That was a suspicious sight.
Yeah, all that clothes and debris.
Rope, shoes, and a carpet.
Yeah. Well, it was like a house collapse. There was a lot more than that. There was a ton of debris.
Oh, I don't remember that part. I remember us being on like public.
There's a
parkland. I don't remember there being a house.
It was falling down. It was creepy. It was super creepy. I also found a jawbone in Port Townsend, but it was ancient. And you know what? At the time, I'd been watching a lot of this show called Bones. And, did I drop the piece? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I got these new things of this burlap. It doesn't want to fit on anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote the description on the back of the card, so
good.
It should
So
be easy
it's
to find.
not if it falls off. All right, so here we have, I have one of these left, and this has been marked down already, so it's at 14. I have one, 984. This one is good for if you're going to go like treasure necklace style. You can do an easy sort of. Almost. Would that be? I don't know if this would be. Oh, you like this? This was a kit, Wendy. They kind of, you know what? They read very dark, but in the sunshine, they're more bright. This was a kit we did not too long ago. So that's nine. What is this? 984. All right. Oh, I have a couple of troll dolls. I'm gonna mark those. So these are Shibu Ichi. This is one of the weird thing. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you don't know what you're finding until you find it, and you're like, "What is that?" So this is 20 at Shibu Ichi, but I think I'll mark it down. I have a couple of them. Let's go with 16. That's pretty good. 318. You've been keeping your eyeballs on a tiny little troll doll. Look at his hair. You know what's so adorable is that he kind of gets a rosy sort of look on top. I think I want one of these in Shibu. I think it looks good. And then look how his little bun cheeks go kind of pinkish. So cute.
If he sells, you cannot pocket it.
Yeah. Oh, Sheree says, I watch a lot of X-Files and they have a lot of predictive programming. Scary to see things from 20 years ago playing out in today's world. Oh.
Oh, yeah. For real.
Yeah.
I love X-Files. I watch that now.
Yep. All right, so we have a couple of
fixated.
pairs. So this is, you have 4 of these? Or just this, right?
Oh, I forgot to mark that on the tag.
There's
Put
only
one.
There's
one
only
pair.
One of that.
Yeah, there was something that I might have missed.
That's a 2-pack right there. So you get both for 22. That's pretty good. 169. How about we say we'll do an even 20 on that. So this one is one we were talking about. I made this a while ago. I don't even think we put this on the site yet.
We never put it on the site. We only sold it by lot.
We only sold by lot. I know. But I was thinking it could be good. So the same kind of thing. You're just like this with it. You know, like you're having a dangle. You could do multiple. That's a very accommodating with a pretty big hole. You get a lot of, let me see, maybe even 3. And then see how this, you could dangle. I saw some really cute designs with this on the Greengirlstudios gang. Loved it. All right, let's see what else I have in my collection here. Might just have to keep this piece because it's been out a few times. So this one, she's been out a couple times. This is a bronze. This bronze?
Yes.
And I kind of gave her a little bit of a wash. I used it in a live sale to demonstrate some pigments. It's 147. I have it at 30. Let's go because I've shown her now. This makes a 3rd time. So I'm going to mark this down to 24. It's a steal on that piece. A steal, I tell you. All right. Oh, this is exciting. So let's see if I have 3 of these. So 3 sterling silver bats, 321. 321. He's pretty heavy duty. Beautiful. I'm gonna wipe this one down a little bit. I have this felt. How pretty that will. How pretty. You know what? Wool on this gives it a little bit of a look like satin, almost satin finish, because it has a little bit. Now on my screen, this is kind of a rainbow piece. So I'm gonna think it looks like it's black, but it's a trimming off of a hat I was making. Came out really pretty. Smooth, delightful. Has a little hole in the back of his head. It's very charming. Love that little piece. What's this? Oh, I didn't know any of these were left. Maybe I'll say that there's only one. So this is
2, right?
Yeah, there's 2, I guess. So this is ruby and zoisite. So this green part, I don't know if you see this. This is the zoisite, but we were testing them out. Now that we kind of wised up to how some of the rubies look. So rubies have chromium in it, and the chromium has a beautiful way of glowing in UV. Now, not all UV light, because sometimes you're like, oh, the sun has UV light, but this is like a concentrated. So we were testing it out to see how it looked. You can see that. It has that little bit of, so it does that that sort of, I don't want to say it's a glow, but it's kind of, let me see if how it does on that kind of look. That kind of bleaches it out too much. You can't even see it then. It's too bright. So I have 2 of them. Love it. Pretty nice. So that it's an interesting stone. All right. What else do I have in here? I had a bunch of things. Oh, this was juicy. I have a couple of these. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so these are kind of a spendy lot. This is ruby. Check this out. Here's my light again. You can see that it is doing the glowing thing to show that it is ruby. The chromium glows. I didn't know that. I looked it up. One of our gem show friends was showing us. So it's kind of cool. Pretty neat. And in my light, they're not showing up as rich as they are, but they're beautifully faceted. They're heavy. They have a great big hole. I have 2 sets. They're $135. Look at the color on that. And that hard sparkle is not a fuming of any type. That is just because it's a very hard stone. Rubies and sapphires are a...
Are you using the right light on it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh, I see.
There you go. There you can see it. When it has more of the other, like with a sapphire mix, sometimes you'll actually see the flecks of this, like that kind of luminescence or fluorescence, I guess. Yeah, they're killer. I love them. I think I kept some of those. What do I have here? Oh, delightful. All right, so these are pretty heavy. I don't know how this is going to go. But I have a little, these are some that Greg made a long time ago. It's little gargoyles. Aren't they so cute? Polish them with this and see what it looks like. And we always go to Tucson. We're going to Tucson. Ann says, are we going to Tucson? Yes, and I would love to meet with you, and we would love to do some sort of activity of some sort. We were talking about it. Maybe we can come up with, like, I don't know, a sale or a special, especially if we could get a bunch of friends together. That might be fun. So this is just a piece of wool that I trimmed off of one of my hats that I was making. Just to give it a little bit of a satin finish. There's his face. There's a little detailed all the way down. Little wings. It's kind of the old school way of a gargoyle, you know, because they were designed. Weren't you telling me this history of the gargoyles? Or maybe it was someone else.
I think it might have been someone else.
It's hard to know.
I know.
So this is 324, lot 324. It is a pretty heavy piece. I have 3 of these. And let's see. I can go on this one. Let's go, because it's kind of heavy. It's a lot of silver in that. We'll do 45 on that. Oh, you know, sometimes, well, you know what? When you do a show out in Tucson, the thing is that you pay a lot of money for your space. And that can be kind of problematic. You know, it can be very problematic because, like, when we were doing the Pueblo, it was $5 large to do that spot. But we also had, 14 days to sell. So it kind of, I mean, the average was pretty good. But then you're paying for food and everything the whole time.
Maybe not for that time we were there. That was not it.
Clem says, I'd like to go, but have no clue as to what motel to stay at, etc. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. It is crazy. What we did last year worked for me, and we went out with a goal of finding beautiful things, and then we sold them in the evening, and it worked. So, oh, Sheree says, weren't they guardians on churches that as the water goes through the mouth, they made a gargling sound? That might be it. I forget what I read about it. I'll have to do some research on that. So this is one of my all-time most popular class. This goes back to like one of my very first ones. I designed this as a basic. This is in bronze, and I showed it before. It's $14, $9.83. It's a good one. Oh, I guess nobody picked this. Kind of tempted. As I was like, are you going to keep that?
You can if you want. It's not too late.
So, okay, so we sold all the ones, and I was thinking about keeping this, but I'm going to put it out. If no one gets it, then that will be my sign to keep it. This is a water clear, like it's so clear. It's a beautiful cut.
Rose water quartz millennium cut.
Yeah, we got these from our friend, and Taj was like, have you ever even seen this? What did he call it? Millennium cut?
Millennium cut.
Millennium cut.
There was one strand.
There was one strand. There was only like 5 on the strand. These are not a cheap date for the fact that it's, I mean, they're hand carved. Let's get in there and look at it. They're designed to be pendants. You know, jewelers go in. My stone guy, he mostly works with higher end, one of my stone people, and this piece I would put that with something. I don't know, I could hand do. You'd have to do something. This is gold filled. I would definitely do gold with that. It's so beautiful. So that's $258, $48 for this. It's insane. Oh, so I was going to mention, if there's something that you've been wanting in a gemstone, we are talking to our cutters and our friends out in different parts of the world, and they're shopping for stones, and they're asking, hey, what do you guys want? And so I know what I want, but I don't know what y'all might want. So let's talk about that. Think about it, and maybe we can make a post on the Greengirlstudios gang site or page group and talk about our favorite stones and what everyone wants to see, because what we can, you know, there's limits on what you can, you know, what you can find. A lot of it is the ease of finding the raw material, because all of this stuff comes from raw material. Like this quartz crystal, it's a beautiful twist cut. I know, it's so crazy. It's so beautiful. There wasn't much of this, and I kept a lot of it. So this one is lot 267. It is delightful. These are hand carved. Hand carved. They weren't super cheap, I tell you. So some of the stuff when it's like this, there's usually they're making them in very small amounts because there's usually not a lot of it. If you've ever seen how they mine that, I mean, they just pull that thing right out of the ground, like in Arkansas, and sometimes it's the color. Okay, so there's 3 of those, I think. I bought a bunch of it. Well, as much of a bunch. When I say a bunch, it was like 2 strands or whatever. But and for something like that, that is a bunch. Because usually, you know, if you're getting something like this, for example. So I got this during 2020 when we were like the last people in Tucson. And a lot of people didn't show up for this because it was a weird time. And some of those gem dealers were giving us some crazy good prices.
Desperate.
Yeah, they were trying to make that, you know, $5,000 booth fee. That's for one spot mine. So keep in mind, when those guys have like 8 spaces, you can just do the math. There's like 5,000 on that booth and 5,000 on that booth. So they were selling stuff super cheap. So this is sapphire, ruby, sapphire, and then ruby. So it is, I don't know how much of this I have left. Light. Oh, here, let's test it. So the chromium.
If you go to the second,
no, the second was too much. So it bleaches it out, and you have to get it
so
close.
Good.
You have to get in there close to show So there isn't any chromium in the sapphire, but you can see it when it comes to the ruby. So that's the main difference. Anyway, yeah, these are crazy. That was such a good deal. I have dreams about that. Okay, I have one of this left. All right, so let's see what I say about this. What is this? So we have medium. Okay, so this one, This strand I bought was a graduated strand. So these were the medium. There was a bunch of smalls on this. So everybody liked the smalls, and there was like 2 or 3 really great big ones. And they have a star. You can see it's a very defined star. Isn't that pretty? And Isaiah likes it when I test it. Show it, show it. So these have a little bit different glow because there's less of the chromium in there. They're more sapphire. But they do have it. You see, I tested them earlier.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep, you can
It's
see a
on
little
one
bit
side.
near the edge on one side.
So that's the presence of that chromium. Gives it that luminescence. There it is on that. You can see a little bit. So this is aquamarine. These are, I believe, let me see what that is. So I'm showing it like the light's going to tell me. This is moss aquamarine right up here. No, you can see that. But they have the little teeny flecks. That blue. Let's say that is sapphire. I have, oh, yes, these are from Sona. I got the strand from Sona. And he didn't usually use rounds. And I got those to go on my treasure necklaces. So those were sapphires. I considered that we matched these to be earrings. You don't have to do that, obviously. Do whatever you want. It says you have 2 here, but I only see the 1.
Oh, yeah, I think there's only 1.
All right. What did I show? Oh, did I not show those? Okay. I don't think I showed those. Okay, I don't know if I showed these. Let's see. I only have 2. So this is some little teeny skulls. I made these. You know, there was a Japanese artist that I really loved their carved pearls, and I wanted some for my treasure necklaces. And I thought they'd be cool. This is a treasure necklace right here. So I made it so that it would sit like this. That's and to look like a pearl. So the thing was, is it from every other angle it would look like a pearl, but then if it rolled the right way, you got a little face. So I thought that was cool. All right. So this is 322. It's sterling. Greg had to drill those out. They filled, but he was successful in his journey. I have 2 of those. All right, what else do I have here? What else do I have? I have a couple of things. Oh, I didn't show this one. I only have a little bit of, here it is. Okay, so this, I had some of these really pretty rubies. They look kind of pale. They're not that pale. We're getting up close so you can see. They have a really beautiful bluish glow. So this is 121. This was an unclaimed lot from last time we did it, and then you can see that color shift, or the glow of it. I have one of them, hard sparkle. Check that out. And that price, I know, fantastic. Need to get more of this. So if everybody wants to, we'll do that post, and we can say what we like for when we go out to Tucson, making notes. Okay, I've got this one left of this 90A. Look at this little face. A little Shibuichi, little talisman. I don't get tired of this shape, y'all. I think y'all can see that. The little foot, look at his little hands. It's so cute. It's 90A, $40, Shibuichi. I've already marked it at 40. You know what? Let's see. Did I already sell it? No, let's see. Let's make this guy. We'll go 35. And if I don't sell him with that, I'm just going to put him on a necklace and see. Big Crafty's coming up. I could put it on something like. I know, he's so cute. I love a beaded chain, and that's how that would hang on there. Isn't that adorable? Love it. I think the aquamarine and sapphire, I think that did sell. I'm pretty sure that did. All right. I have one of these sterling eyes. I think this was an unclaimed. It's 125. It's a silver, and maybe this is a plated one. This is a plated one. It's a plate. So it's not solid silver, but it's a pretty brown eye. Beautiful. I usually sell these. This one was marked down. It was usually this size is usually we have it at 45 is usually that size. So that's pretty good. Pretty good right there. If you're interested, 125. Looks like I have one last.
You've been grinding.
I'm just showing it. Just showing it. I have one of these. Let's see if that one is. This was a plated one as well. And this one's 38 for 126. All of these are a little bit different. It's one of my better sellers when I'm at markets because people like them, you know. And then I get people later. They're like, they want to. Their friends want it, and or they see it on Instagram and somebody's making them. Because this is not a new idea by any stretch of the imagination. Eyes are ancient. These are for icons. They were made by the same family that's been making this same thing. They started with making idols for the church. I made one for myself. I have a couple of them. I use this chain, so I made this so that I can just change it out. But I love it on a handmade chain. All right. And let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we went through that whole tray. I'm checking it. Yeah, we got almost everything. Or we did get everything.
Good job.
All right, I'm going to switch this. No. I know what we have to do. We're at 88 people. I hope everyone has put in the hashtag pink. Oh,
So they can see there. Here, pass me the mouse. Come on.
I can do it. Oh no, you can do it. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the drawing. So if you have hashtag pink, lowercase, just like it is. Oh no, refresh. Can everyone see that?
What?
Oh, do not do that one.
It didn't do it.
Oh wait.
No, look, it didn't do it. You guys.
She can do it again.
No, it's too late now.
Just try it again.
Okay, well, I'm going to try.
So
something happened. I'm going to show you guys something real
off.
quick. I'm going to show you exactly what happened, you guys, so you can see what happened here. I had it reloaded, and then here's what it looks like now. It started me at the very beginning. This is what the website looks like as soon as you open it. You have to pick a different stream. You have to put in your hashtag, and it started me over. We'll see if we can try. I will show you guys my walkthrough, and we'll see if it works.
Should work.
We'll see.
And
okay, 2031.
Oh, that's all.
See, no, because we just redid it.
Oh.
We had to restart it. That's the problem.
Okay, well, everybody hurry up and put it in again.
Everybody hurry up and do it again, but something's going on here, so I'm not really sure.
I think I see the numbers going up, so.
All right, y'all, comment pink as much as you can. Hashtag pink, because I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the internet.
You know what? It could time out too, but it didn't time out before, so that's weird.
Keep entering.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. You guys grind on that, for real.
Because it showed 37 people when I know that there were more than 37.
There were more, but the fact that it kicked us off and started us over, it basically gathered all that it could in the past, minute or two.
All right.
Since we've been going for over an hour and a half.
How many is it up to now?
It's at 56.
That's better.
I'll give you guys another
minute or so.
Yeah, a little longer to keep entering, keep doing it, because we got 87 people and we've been going for an hour and a half. There should be a lot more.
There for sure should be.
I don't know why. It must be an internet thing that kicked us off. But you know what? We're making the best of it. Let's see.
Yeah, you can never tell.
60.
It's at 60. Let's give it another second or two. Let's see what happens. This is easier than when we were trying to do that thing where we're doing name that tune or whatever.
We were doing trivia, and that made it difficult.
It was hard. It was fun to do trivia.
It was fun, but I had to prep 2 hours in advance, sometimes more. So
you're at 60. Do you want to try it now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
For this. Helen!
Yay!
Helen Balcom. Comment if you are here with us right now.
I believe I saw Helen's name when we were on there.
Oh, I'm sure she's here. Helen Balcom, you won this giveaway. This Fairy Delight.
Yay, I see her name. Let's do another one. I've got another giveaway over there. I have another opal one downstairs. I saw it.
You want to go look for that?
No, I know exactly where it is because I was sorting the garage yesterday. Let's do one more because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the fever. So if you don't have an order, we're going to ask is that you.
I think she does. I think Helen Balcom does have an order with us.
Okay, well I'm just saying if we do another one. We have so many people on here.
Okay, what are we doing for?
We're doing it for that opal, and I have it downstairs.
You need to get it first. Man, I don't know what you're doing.
Just hit it again. I have it. Don't make me run for it.
They don't even know what it looks like.
You don't have to know what it looks like.
All
You saw it before because I had another one. It was another giveaway we did a few days ago. Yay, Linda! Linda, if you're here, Linda, we have another giveaway. It's downstairs, and I don't have it in front of me, but it's like this. It's just the opal version. So let's see if Linda say something if you are here with us.
Linda Nicholson, if you're here, comment so we know that you're here. And oh yeah, there she is. Hello.
I see her.
Perfect.
That's on you. You get it. So we'll write that one down. I'll go get it right now, or right when we roll in. So what was the name?
Linda Nicholson and Helen Balcom. I mean, you didn't have to do that because I could have gone in and I have to go through here again and look.
Well, it's just for your, for your notes. All right, let's flip that camera around.
All right, y'all.
All right, you want to show your sweater one last time?
It looks the same as it did when I showed it before.
I just like that you have it. You did a good job, Bulldog.
Thank you.
All right, friends. Thank y'all for joining us and having fun while I showed the way that we are going to make our newest component. I'm going to switch this over so it's more in line. All right. So that was pretty fun. I am excited about this piece, and I hope that it comes out good because, I'm going to be stuck with a bunch of them. And I'm thinking different colors. I'm going to make a post and find out what everyone wants this time from Tucson. I know I'm going to be hunting for some of the stone that I got a couple years ago called Greengirlstudios, and I didn't see a lot of it last year. I looked all over, and I saw like one or two strands, and they were kind of meh quality, so that's on my list. I'm going to tell my guy to be on the hunt for that. So if there's any stone that you've been thinking about, and the cut, because that's also, because there's, you get out to Tucson, there's like a million shows happening. So keep it in your mind, because we're at that point where we're starting to send out feelers. Before we go, Azalea and I were like, I'm texting my friends. I'm all like, hey, Raj, what you got for me? What do you think you're going to be bringing? You're going to be bringing some of that good sapphire I like? And then, we have that kind of rapport. It's only been, I don't want to say 30 years, but it's kind of almost been 30 years. All right, friends. I had a good time. I hope you all did too. We love you out there, and we hope that you are creative this week, and we hope to see you on Wednesday, where I think we're going to show that kit, your kit. What did you call that? That summertime boreal Arctic jungle frozen. What did you name that? It's a beautiful kit that Azalea designed. We're going to work with that on Wednesday, or unless we think of something else, in which case we'll do something equally fun. All right, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you on Wednesday. All right.